કેમ છો? મજામાં? આજે તો બહુ ગરમી છે બહાર, સો થેન્ક યુ વેરી મચ. ખૂબ આભારી તમે બધા લોકો અહીંયા આ ગરમીમાં અહીંયા અમારાથી મળવા આવ્યા. અને આજે તો લેબર ડે પણ છે, સો થેન્ક યુ, હ્યુજ થેન્ક યુ. ઓન બિહાફ ઓફ Bagmane Prime Office REIT, થેન્ક યુ ફોર જોઈનિંગ અસ ટુડે. આજે અહીંયા અનાઉન્સમેન્ટ છે આ કંપનીનું ફોરથકમિંગ IPO REIT માટે. Bagmane Prime Office REIT is a Bangalore-based Grade A plus commercial office REIT located in the world's best performing micro markets with a marquee tenant roster and a strong growth pipeline backed by a reputed sponsor. Amara sponsor che the Bagmane Group, one of India's leading and Bangalore's largest pure play Grade A office owners and developers. The Bagmane Group has been around for over 3 decades and they've been developing, leasing and managing large format business parks in Bangalore, partnering with MNCs and GCCs, Global Capability Centers. The group also has a massive growth pipeline across Bangalore, Delhi and Chennai. The portfolio comprises of 6 premium Grade A office parks, more than 20 million square feet in size, and as I said, in the best performing micro markets in the world. The portfolio is also ranked highest in terms of occupancy. We will show you all these details in our presentation. Also about the tenants and all, we'll let you know how the company works with some of the largest MNCs including Google, Amazon, Nvidia, Samsung and others. Amara vache aje chhe from the Bagmane management side, Mr. Hugh Andrew. He's got over 30 years of experience in real estate, Pan-Asia, this whole region, all the way from acquisitions to asset management. Bagmane thi pehle, he was with Ghalib Matheson, he was with BlackRock and also Hong Kong Land. With us today is also Mr. Rajkumar T. He's our Chief Operating Officer. Rajkumar sir 20 વર્ષથી Bagmane Group ની સાથે છે, and he's done all these properties that you will see, all the portfolio, everything. He's played a huge role in putting that together. Ashay Shah is our CFO. અને REIT માં તમને એમને જોયું હશે પહેલા. He was the one who did the Raheja backed Mindspace REIT, and he's brought all that expertise and experience now to Bagmane. Bagmane REIT is backed by Blackstone. Blackstone is not new to you. Blackstone is India's largest foreign investor, and in the real estate space, also the largest landlords across office assets, retail malls, warehousing and logistics spaces, hospitality, data centers and residential. And ત્યાંથી આજે અમારા સાથે છે હર્ષ મહેશ્વરી. He's a principal at Blackstone. Representing our book running lead managers, we have with us Ilesh Karaya. He is the Senior Vice President Axis Capital, and Nimit Kumar, who's an Associate VP SBI Caps. So REITs as a product, aapne bada to odko cho, and Blackstone has also been instrumental in driving 5 out of the 6 REITs. So Harsh jo ahiyan che, he's to done all the REITs in the country, all the way from Embassy REIT to Mindspace to Nexus Select Trust, એના પછી KRT Knowledge REIT થયું, અને today we are bringing to you Bagmane REIT. So let's start the proceedings from hearing from Harsh.
Good morning everyone. Thank you so much for joining us as we take a significant step in our partnership with the Bagmane Group. For Blackstone, India is a market of immense conviction. We have been investing in India for last 20 years, and over the years the opportunity has only grown stronger. Today, India's talent and cost advantage makes it the destination of choice for all the GCCs across the world. Specifically, Bangalore has become the world-class strategic hub, and the demand for high-quality office space there is stronger than ever. If you see the last year's Bangalore's leasing number, it's touching 25 million square feet. That too just in 1 year. Like many of you would know, Blackstone has pioneered the REITs ecosystem in India, from sponsoring the country's very first REIT to launching 4 out of last 5 REITs in India. We have watched this sector transform. Number of investors in the REIT ecosystem has grown from 4,000 back in 2019 to about 4 lakh investors today. That's 100 times growth. Taking this legacy forward, and alongside our Bagmane Group, our partner Bagmane Group, we are very proud to launch our 5th REIT, Bagmane Prime Office REIT. Our strategy in India has always been to invest in the best asset and partner with the best developer. The Bagmane Group stands at the forefront of both. They have built a world-class portfolio with an incredible reputation of governance and execution. You can see the quality of their assets in their marquee tenants. Global leaders like Google, Amazon, Qualcomm, and Nvidia haven't just leased the space there. They have scaled their business year after year in the portfolio. Certain assets in their portfolio, like Google Campus and Rio Business Park, are among the finest assets, and not only in India, but across the globe. We have seen that well set up REITs perform through the market cycles. The Bagmane Prime Office REIT offers the perfect balance to the investors. Yield today and growth tomorrow. Growth which is driven by contractual rent escalations, new developments, and a clear pipeline for future acquisition through ROFO assets. Lastly, we are grateful for the opportunity to partner with Bagmane Group and look forward to discuss this REIT in detail with you. Thank you so much for being part of this today. We know it's a public holiday, markets are shut today. Thank you, special thank you for that. And with that, I will pass it back to you.
I invite Elish Karia from Access Capital to take us through the issue details.
Thank you, Deepa. Good morning, gentlemen and ladies. તમારા બધાનો આભાર તમે અહીંયા સવારે આવ્યા છો અમારા સાથે. On behalf of Bagmane Prime Office REIT, Access Capital and the lead managers, I extend a warm welcome to the press community and for joining us on the launch of this landmark offering. It is a privilege to share stage with some of the distinguished leaders. From the leadership team, we have Hugh Andrew, Chief Executive Officer, Rajkumar, the Chief Operating Officer, and Ashish Shah, the Chief Financial Officer, and especially the Blackstone team represented by Harsh Maheshwari. To quickly give you a brief of Bagmane REIT, I'll just spend a minute and then hand over to the management. The Bagmane REIT, a 20 million square feet plus office portfolio, offers investors access to a pure play, large scale grade A office portfolio in India's most resilient core office market, which is Bangalore. This REIT is sponsored by Bagmane Group, one of the largest developers in Bangalore. From a quality standpoint, these large parks are anchored at 99% occupancy and have long lease tenures. The portfolio delivers high cash flow visibility from day one. From a quality of tenant standpoint, 89% of the rentals come from GCC tenants. The platform embeds multiple growth levers within a conservative structure of REIT, including mark-to-market rental upsides, under construction, and future development potential. The REIT also offers a 47 million square feet ROFO pipeline, which is amongst the highest in any of the REITs that are listed in the country today. The REIT also starts with a 5% LTV, which is again amongst the lowest in the REIT platforms today. Backed by strong governance and ESG-led asset design, Bagmane Prime Office REIT is positioned as a scalable long-term yield vehicle. To summarize, scale, quality, growth, and proven execution, all in one compelling opportunity. Let me highlight the key details of the IPO. The total issue size of this IPO is 3,405 crore rupees, which is a combination of fresh issue of 2,390 crore rupees, an offer for sale of 1,015 crore rupees. This issue size of 3,405 crore comprises of 850 crores from strategic investors, 1,150 crores from anchor investors, 766 crores from net institutional investors, and 639 crore rupees from non-institutional investors. The price band for the IPO has been fixed at 95 to 100 rupees per unit. The minimum application size is of 150 units and the bids thereafter in multiples of 150 units. The issue opens on Tuesday, the 5th of May and closes on Thursday, the 7th of May, with the anchor being done on the Monday, 4th of May. The IPO has already attracted 850 crores in strategic investments from marquee institutional investors such as UTI Mutual Fund, Axis Max Life, Kotak Life, and 361 to name a few. As we stand at the cusp of this landmark offering, I invite the management team to share their journey, vision, and strategic roadmap for the future. I hand over to you, Deepa. Thank you.
Hugh, do you want to sit down and start it?
Yes, I'd be delighted to.
Yeah, okay.
First of all,
Presentation.
I'd like to reiterate Deepa's thanks for you coming today on a holiday to learn and listen and hopefully ask questions at the end of our presentation. We're the second Bengaluru team to come to Ahmedabad over the last couple of days, and I'm quite confident that we'll have a better result than the Chargers did last night. So please, no questions about the cricket, that would be very unfair. We'll go straight into it. The presentation will last about 30 minutes, and then, as I say, we're more than happy to answer questions that you may have. I'd like to express my thanks to Alesh, Harsh, and to Nimit for joining us today, and of course to Deepa for being the Master of Ceremonies. Let me start off by just giving a little background to the journey that our promoter, Raja Bagmane, has undertaken in building this phenomenal business. It was as early as 1996 that the property company was formed. Raja began to see the opportunity and the long-term growth and demand for quality offices in the Bangalore market, largely driven by the talent pool, indeed a talent pool that reaches across the whole of your great country. In 2002, he responded to an RFP from Motorola to build a 3 lakh square foot building, was successful in that bid, and that was really the beginning of his journey and the group's journey in building high quality business park campuses for high quality tenants. Today, that company has built in excess of 35 million square feet, together with some joint land developers. He's also accrued a pipeline of over 47 million square feet, not just in our primary market of Bengaluru, but also in Chennai, Delhi. And he's amassed a company of over 3,000 employees to deliver those corporate solutions to the tenants that have been discussed already this morning. Raja is supported as the promoter in his business by his 2 sons, Shashank and Aditya. Shashank would like to have been here today. He sends his apologies for not being here, but they're both busy working away to achieve our listing aims, but also to continue the development of the Bagmane Group as a whole. We're going to talk about a number of things, but the business model that Raja has developed is I think the best that I've seen in my 36 years across Asia Pacific. It starts with that ability to acquire, look at the right opportunities, and build a portfolio not just for the existing built assets, but for the pipeline that I mentioned. We have a very strong belief in managing most of our functions in-house, whether it's design, the development of infrastructure, quality management, asset management, property management. We all manage this within the business. Infrastructure, as you all know, Bangalore has some challenges with its infrastructure, and as in line with many other cities around the country, investment has been made to improve that infrastructure. And that is something that Bagmane are heavily involved in, both within the parks, but also within the communities in which we operate. Of course, an asset is only an asset if you are making money from it. And so the relationships and the partnerships that the group have built with companies such as Google and Amazon, etc., are phenomenal. We have a very, very strong tenant retention rate, and half of our real estate has been leased on a build-to-suit basis, and Ashay will describe that in more detail as we go through the presentation. We are committed to a measured and effective sustainability program. We consider our stakeholders to be our customers, our clients, our tenants. We consider the community around us as a stakeholder. Our employees are a stakeholder. And going forward, as we become a partly public company, our investors are also an important stakeholder. So we're very conscious and we listen very hard to all of those stakeholders' wishes and requirements. And finally, the strategic relationship we have with Blackstone has been vital to the journey to date on listing this REIT, and our continued association will also be vital, I think, to the success of how we maintain value and continue to return value to the investors. It really has been a very valuable partnership. We're going to run through a number of things, and we hope that you will ask questions at the end of the presentation. We've talked about the sponsor. We're going to talk a little bit about the strategic location in which the majority of our portfolio sits. We're going to talk about the assets and the business parks, because we're incredibly proud of what we've built. And there are some visuals that will demonstrate the range and the quality of the product. We're going to talk in more detail about the tenants and how strategically we manage those relationships, again, to ensure that from an investment perspective, we are driving and maintaining the best returns that we can. And then Akshay will run through the growth profile of the REIT, a little bit of history in the recent performance of the group, and also the projections that we can only talk about as part of the 7 regulations. Akshay.
Thank you, Hugh. So, for those of you who are not aware about the Bangalore geography and the micro markets, the map on the left lays out the zoomed out version of Bangalore. And the 2 micro markets that we are present in, one is the SBD city and the other is the ORR. Those are the 2 best performing micro markets in the world, not just Bangalore, not just India. In the last 5 years, by absorption, they have done the maximum absorption of office space across the globe. You can see on the left, the pink dots are where our assets are located, and yellow dots are the ROFO assets, which are still being developed by the sponsor and eventually will be offered to the REIT. On the right hand side, you can see the zoomed in version where the assets are located. The purple line shows the Whitefield Metro, which is already operational. It's from center of the city to Whitefield. The blue line is the metro on the outer ring road. This metro line is expected to be completed by end of this calendar year. We have adopted one of the metro stations. It will be called Bagmane DRDO Sports Complex Metro Station, just outside our parks. And we've done multiple initiatives in terms of infrastructure, internal roads, flyovers. And towards the further right, we can see the key indicators. The portfolio comprises of more than 2 crore square feet of area, and out of which 1 crore 66 lakh square feet is already completed, which is almost 99% leased. This is the best performing occupancy across the listed peers. We also have a very healthy mark to market, 17.6%. What this means is today's in-place rent, what the tenants are paying us today, versus where the market rent is, there is a 17.6% gap between them. So whenever these leases expire, we achieve that higher rent on those expired leases on renewal. And we have a very low leverage. Our leverage is only 5% of our gross value, which is again the first in all the listed peers. It is one of the lowest leverage. So, like I highlighted earlier, the 2 micro markets we are present in have done 28 million square feet of absorption, which is the highest across the world. So now just talking about a few of our assets. These are the actual images of our assets. The bottom left image specifically I want to highlight is Bagmane Rio Business Park. This is 1.7 million square feet of office space built specifically for Google build-to-suit basis. and it is the largest office space of single standalone building of theirs outside USA. Right, and the facade that you can see on this particular building is electrochromatic facade. So what this means is Google can program each and every pane to change their tint throughout the day. So if I'm sitting near the facade, I can decide that, you know, at 3 o'clock, because the sunlight is too much, I want 70% opacity. At 5 o'clock, I want 30% opacity. So they can program each of the panes to change that tint. And we have executed this entire facade and the project for them, and they reimbursed us for the facade cost. And this is also their headquarters for their AI development, DeepMind. On the top right, the image that you can see is Bagmane Constellation Business Park, where Amazon has like a mini campus. They occupy 5 of the buildings in this particular park. These are our assets in SBD City. On the left hand side, the images that you can see are the first park that we've built. So not all our assets are new. We have also assets which have been developed over the last 10, 15, 20 years. But we have a regular maintenance program, and we keep the assets up to date in terms of what is the requirement of our tenants today. On the right hand side, you can see the new asset which we are developing in SBD City, which is called Bagmane Cosmos, and this is the largest new development happening in that particular area. So we as a company have always believed in creating world-class parks. We've not developed standalone buildings, we have created ecosystems. And what this means is, along with the buildings where our tenants have occupied, we provide the ecosystem around it, which includes various F&Bs, food courts, multi-court facilities, sports facilities like swimming pool, gymnasiums, and we also have tied up with BMTC buses, wherein we provide free shuttle buses from our parks to the nearest metro stations. So this is a slide which we are very proud of. Almost all our tenants are foreign MNCs. Almost 90% of them are GCCs. And GCCs are really the ones who are driving the growth of commercial real estate today. And 2/3 of our tenants are part of the Fortune 500. On the bottom left, you can see the unique mix of tenants that we have. Very interesting, 21% of our tenants are semiconductor giants. And these are the ones who are actually backbone of the AI growth that is happening today. And they are growing rampantly. On the right, you can see the contribution by these tenants, our top 10 tenants. Google and Amazon are our largest tenants. We have a very special relationship with Volvo and Samsung. Both have been associated with us for more than 20 years. They both came in our portfolio in 2005 and substantially grown with us. Outside their home country, each one of them has their largest R&D facility in our business parks. So we as a group also have a very unique strategy of build to suit. So almost half of what we have built has been built as build to suit. And what this means is, when we are developing a building, the tenant will come to us and tie up 1 year or 2 years in advance before the building gets completed. And then they will tell us that they want extra specifications. So they will tell us that they want extra staircases, extra elevators, they want the floor strengthening to house their servers, or a unique facade which Google wanted, or they want a live kitchen. So these kind of specifications they have, which we cater to, and they pay for it upfront. So they pay for the additional cost upfront. And what this does is it makes them even more stickier, and this has a building which is exactly for their requirements. So almost half of that is build to suit, and very unique example is Amazon. Amazon came to our portfolio in 2015 with a 200,000 square feet of area, and now they have substantially grown with us with a 2.6 million square feet of area, and 93% of that is build to suit. So this table again shows how unique this investment opportunity is and how great the quality of the portfolio is. In terms of committed occupancy at almost 99%, this is by far the highest compared to all listed peers. And by a margin, we are surpassing all our listed peers. We have a very low SEZ exposure, one of the lowest, at 21% of the area. And in terms of revenue contribution, SEZ only contributes to 16% of our revenue. Also, the occupancy of SEZ is very high, more than 97%. A very healthy mark-to-market, again, one of the highest at 17.6%. And the tenant profile I showed to you, a very unique tenant profile. It is almost a pure GCC play. 90% of our tenants are GCCs. We have a huge ROFO pipeline. 4.7 crores of area is being developed by the sponsor on the private side. And this eventually, as and when this area gets matured, it will be offered to the REIT as ROFO assets. Our distribution is very efficient. 65 to 75% of our distribution will be through dividends. And in REIT, if you are in the old regime, and when you distribute distribute dividends, dividends are completely tax-free in the hands of the investors. So whatever we distribute, out of that, on an average, 70% is going to be completely tax-free for the investors, and remaining will be interest, which will be taxed at the marginal rate. In terms of leverage, we are again one of the lowest. We are the lowest at 5% of LTV. And what this does is, it gives us a significant headroom to grow. So we can acquire third-party assets and ROFO assets by not diluting the units, but by raising leverage and do the acquisitions. So a quick couple of slides on the industry. Here you can see how the GCCs have grown and are growing in our country, and India has actually become a global center for GCCs to come and work. India contributes broadly to 37% of the GCCs, and out of which Bangalore is the preferred location. They contribute to 40% of GCCs which are coming to India. On the right hand side, you can see how the GCCs have grown from 2019 to 15. And the project 19 to 25, sorry, and from 25 it is expected the number of GCCs which are there in our country are going to grow by 50%. And these are just the numbers. Plus the existing GCCs keep on growing their space. Also, what is unique is that only 35% of the Fortune 500 companies have still come to India. There are 65% of Fortune 500 companies which are yet to explore the Indian market, and every month we see new and new companies coming to India. So this shows the strength of Bangalore market. Bangalore is the largest commercial real estate market in the country. 1/4 of entire commercial real estate in India is housed in Bangalore, and it also caters to more than 1/4 of the leasing of commercial real estate. Bangalore, again, like I said, contributes to 40%, almost 40% of GCCs in India. However, in our portfolio, it is much higher at 89%. Bangalore has a very low vacancy of 11%, whereas our vacancy is just 1.2%. On the bottom left, you can see the demand-supply dynamics of Bangalore. Consistently over the last few years, the demand, the gross leasing has been much higher than the supply which is there. And the projection is also on similar lines. Again, these projections have been given by JLL. So this shows resilience of the portfolio. Like I told you, our occupancy today is close to 99%. But this is not just as of a cutoff date. Historically, through last 5 years, even through COVID, our occupancy has never fallen below 94%. In March 22, there was a small dip from 96 to 94%. That was also because we just completed a new building before March 22, not because there was a material vacancy in our portfolio because of COVID. And you can see the yellow line, which is the average Bangalore occupancy, and the grey line, which is the average occupancy which the other REITs have achieved. Right? So there is a substantial outperformance in terms of occupancy. And this translates to the higher growth rate of our rentals, which is portrayed on the chart on the right. This slide again shows the strength of the portfolio and how deep our relationship is with our tenants. These are amongst our top 6 tenants, 5 of our top 6 tenants. Google being the largest tenant, Google and Amazon started relationship with us in 2015-16 with a small area. Every 1.5 to 2 years, they have consistently grown with us, and today they've grown at a materially high portfolio. They have a materially high portfolio with us. Texas Instruments again has been one of our old tenants. They have grown multi-folds with us, and I already spoke about Samsung and Volvo. Rajkumar, do you want to take this slide?
Yeah, thank you, Ashwin. This is a slide to explain about our repositioning skills. The building you see towards your left is developed by us in 2006. It is a build-to-suit facility for a sale to a IT services client. In 2019, the client came back and said they proposed to sell this building. So we participated in the RFP. We were the highest bidder in the RFP and successfully won this bid. Then instead of redevelopment, we reposition this asset. What does it mean? Change the glasses, facade, remove the plant and machinery, replace the whole plant and machinery. And what we achieved in 2019, we successfully completed and leased to a tenant. What we have achieved? A, provided a solution to the client. B, we achieved highest yield of 15.2%, which is the key requirement for any REITs. 3, we have substantially reduced the carbon, which otherwise would have added by redevelopment. Move to the next. So one of the key focus areas, since I said carbon, one of the key focus area is sustainability, which has remained always with us. How do we achieve this sustainability? By two ways is our leadership has decided. One, to reduce the emission of carbon through providing our power through renewable energy sources. So we developed 3 tech parks as on today owned and operated by us, which provides 92 megawatts power capacity through our solar farm. And 1 solar park is under construction, which is expected to complete soon with the capacity of 72 megawatts. So totaling this to 4 parks, by June 2026, 80% of the power consumed by the REIT portfolio would be through our renewable energy sources. And we have set an internal target by 2030. We committed to do 100% through the renewable energy sources. B, we would like to always maintain the industry highest benchmarks and certification. I am proud to announce we are the first developer to register RE100. We have been rated 5-star by GRESB, and 89% of the buildings have been LEED certified. We have set an internal target of 100% certification as a platinum rated buildings by 2030. Ashok, please.
Thank you, Rajkumar. So now let's get to numbers. Let's get to what matters for the investors. So these are the levers which will fuel the growth of REIT in the coming years. The first one is a pretty standard escalation. So this what this means is 75% of our leases have contracted that they will escalate every 3 years at 15%, and the remaining of our leases escalate annually at 5%. The second lever of growth is mark to market. So like I explained earlier, 17% plus is a difference between our ongoing rents and the market rents. So whenever a lease comes for releasing, we are able to achieve this mark to market. So on an average, 5 to 8% leases expire every year, and when we achieve this higher mark to market on that, that contributes to additional 1.5% of growth beyond the contracted growth. The third large lever is the development in the portfolio. There is 1 million square feet of under construction going on and 2 million square feet of future development. And all of this is part of the core Bangalore market, which is called SBD City. In SBD City today, there are only 3 large business parks. One is Embassy Golf Links, Bagmane Tech Park and Bagmane Cosmos. And 2 of those parks are part of this particular REIT. This development is happening in Bagmane Cosmos and expected to complete it over next 3.5 years. We also have 2 hotels which we are developing as part of our outer ring road layout amenities. I will further explain the hotel portfolio subsequently. And a solar park which Rajkumar spoke about, which will be completed in before the June quarter. So these are the organic levers of growth for the portfolio which is already part of the REIT. Apart from that, on account of our low leverage, there is substantial headroom for us to grow from inorganic acquisitions and the acquisition of ROFO assets. And the math is very simple. Today in market, high quality grade A developments are available at 7.5, 8 cap rate, and the cost of debt is less than that. Plus, if you count the benefit that you get from depreciation and the tax benefits on account of that, day one when you acquire an asset by raising leverage, it becomes cash flow accretive. And because we have low leverage, unlike other REITs, we don't have to go for dilution. We can raise leverage and acquire assets. So these are the projected numbers of our net operating income. From 2,675 crores expected net operating income in FY27, we expected to rise to 3,754 crores by FY30. And these numbers have been given in our offer document as per regulations and have been reviewed by our auditor EY. The entire growth on an average 12% CAGR is largely contributed by contracted growth, which is already as per our contracts and agreements. And the second large contributor of that growth is the new construction which is happening in the portfolio. So we saw the numbers how NOI is growing in terms of distribution. Again, very important for all the investors. In FY27, 2,095 crores is going to be distributed to the investors, which will keep on growing and which is expected to reach 2,533 crores by FY30, which is a CAGR of almost 7%. Again, to reiterate, 65 to 75% of this distribution is going to be through dividends, which will be completely tax-free for all the investors. So these are some of the perspectives of the buildings we are developing. The one on the left is part of Bagmane Cosmos, where 1 million square feet is under construction. The one on the right are the perspectives of the 2 hotels that we are developing. Again, this is not a pivot to hospitality in our development. These hotels we are developing more as amenities to our parks, which caters to the needs of our tenants and makes them even more sticky. So what we are doing is 2 formats, 207 keys of ultra luxury hotel and 400 keys of mid-segment hotel, which will cater to the regular traffic Monday to Thursday. And both of these hotels are housed on a large convention center, which will cater to the conferencing needs of our tenants. This is the list of ROFO assets which are held by our sponsor privately today, totaling to 47 million square feet. Again, the ROFO assets have been expanded in last 2 years to Chennai and Delhi as well. The sponsor has now entered into Chennai and Delhi. And the first 2 assets that you can see are in decent stage of maturity. Bagmane Capital Tech Park, which is a 7 million square feet park, out of which 4 million is already completed and 2.3 million is under construction. So once this asset stabilizes by generating 85-90% of revenue, this will be offered to the REIT. The second one, Solarium City, a large 9 million square feet park. Again, 3 million is already completed, completely leased out, and 1.3 million is under development. Again, as this park matures, will be offered to the REIT. The other assets are in various stages of development. Some have just started construction, some are in design stage. So what this will do is offer as a continuous growth opportunity for the REIT and keep on adding assets to the REIT. One important aspect to understand here is, even on listing, Bagmane continues to hold 82% plus of the unit holding. And this is the only business that Bagmane is into. They are only into commercial real estate. So the interests of Bagmane Group is completely aligned from the private side as well as the listed vehicle. So thank you very much. To conclude, before taking the questions, this is an opportunity to invest with the best pure play developer, commercial real estate developer in India, and arguably amongst the top 3 developers, commercial real estate developers in the country. The assets which we are bringing to the market are in the best performing micro markets. The micro markets themselves are 95% occupied. We are topping it up with almost a 99% occupancy. This is a pure play GCC play. 89% of our tenants are GCCs. And the last 5 years we've seen majority of the leasing is happening through GCCs. Also, there's a huge growth opportunity on account of low leverage. 47 million square feet of ROFO assets could be added to the portfolio. And over and above that, we also look at third-party assets which could be added to the portfolio. So thank you very much. Ready to take questions.
Hi, you can ask us questions, please.
Mr. Andrew, you're a British citizen.
I am, yes, I'm very proud.
So is this a common thing in your industry where, you know, a global CEO takes charge, or what made the Bagmanes decide to bring in talent from the UK?
Well, first of all, it's very kind of you to use the word talent associating with me. I've been very privileged. I've spent 36 years working across Asia Pacific, Hong Kong, Singapore. I've looked after assets from New Zealand, Northern China, Malaysia, Japan. And so I've had the benefit of seeing markets develop through their real estate journey, China in particular. Obviously all markets are different, but there are very common threads in developing markets. So when I was introduced through Blackstone to the promoter, within a couple of days in Bangalore, I kind of decided that this was a role and this is a project that I would really like to be involved in. I haven't seen a quality portfolio as good as this. The passion and the commitment of the leadership team and the people that I met within the business. So to your second point, which is what can I bring, or what do you think the promoter sees? I've had a journey through Asia. I've been through various changes in the market, through 9/11, SARS in Hong Kong, COVID in Singapore, the Asia financial crisis, the global financial crisis. Now, we're not expecting any of these things to have a significant impact on the Indian real estate economy. But I've also had the benefit of working in my early days as a broker, so I have a good understanding of how a deal should be structured. And I've also spent a large part of my career in the asset and facility management side. So if you think of the Bagmane opportunity, the commodity is a square foot of real estate. And in our case, it's the best office parks in Bangalore and ROFO pipeline across the country. But actually, our commodity is to work with our tenants to provide corporate solutions. Because the world, the GCCs, see India as a huge growth opportunity. No longer just because it's a time zone away and we can outsource. Your country is now the home of development and innovation because of your talent pool. And so to be part of that journey, to be a service provider and to lead a team where we're contributing to that is very exciting.
And Hugh's not new to India. This is his second stint here?
Yes, I lived in Mumbai from 2008 to 2011. When I was with Jardine Matheson, I came here and looked at the market from an investment point of view.
Could we have Nivin Kumar, AVP SBI Caps, for closure, please? I'm so sorry.
Good afternoon, everyone. So, on behalf of Bagmane Group, Blackstone, SBI Capital Markets, and my fellow BRLMs, I express my sincere gratitude to you for attending the press meet of Bagmane Prime Office REIT. The management has already delivered a commendable presentation, but just to reiterate some of the key points, Bagmane Prime Office REIT manages premium grade A+ business parks located in one of the world's best performing micro markets, that's Bengaluru. The portfolio comprises of 20.3 million square feet of total area and 19.6 million square feet of leasable area, with a 98.8% committed occupancy as of December 31st, 2025. Which is highest among the listed office REITs with a very high quality tenants such as Google, Amazon, Nvidia and others. Led by highly experienced management team and reputed board of directors and sponsored by Bagmane Group, which is Bengaluru's largest and one of India's leading pure play grade A+ office owner and developer with over 3 decades of experience in operating, developing, leasing and managing large format commercial real estate. To reiterate the deal contours, the REIT IPO opens its bid offer on Tuesday, May 5th, 2026, with anchor on Monday, May 4th, 2026, for an IPO offering of 3,405 crores, with a price band of rupees 95 to 100 rupees, and the bid offer closes on Thursday, May 7th, 2026 for all bidders. On behalf of Bagmane Group, the Blackstone team, the BRLMs, I thank you all once again for being part of the meet today.